People think betrayal is something you discover. Like you find it, dig it up, catch it in the act. They're wrong. Sometimes betrayal finds you while you're half asleep, holding a coffee mug, trusting the life you built. I wasn't suspicious. I wasn't checking anything. I wasn't ready. I was standing in the kitchen, barefoot on cold tile, waiting for the coffee to finish brewing. The baby monitor sat on the counter like it always did. Background noise in our routine. Same soft green glow. Same faint static. Same grainy image of the living room. Except this time, she wasn't alone. And the scariest part? My brain didn't panic. It stalled. Because what I was watching didn't look like a mistake. It looked practiced. Her laugh, our couch, the way she leaned in, not hesitant, not guilty, and the way he touched her. Like someone who had done it before. Like someone who felt at home. I didn't scream. I didn't drop the mug. I didn't move. I stood there watching my life continue, just without me in it. Up until that moment, I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but grown-up solid. Years married, shared routines, shared exhaustion, shared plans we never quite had time to act on. We were past jealousy, past drama, past the phase where you worry about infidelity. At least, that's what I told myself. Looking back, I realize I confused stability with safety. When I confronted her later that night, it wasn't dramatic. No screaming. No accusations thrown like weapons. Just two tired people sitting at opposite ends of the couch, the TV off, the house uncomfortably quiet. The truth came out in pieces, like she was handing me shards of glass and asking me not to bleed. It wasn't planned. It didn't mean anything. It just happened. She cried. Not hysterically, controlled, careful tears. The kind that look sincere, but don't quite reach panic. I listened. I nodded. I asked questions I wasn't ready to hear the answers to. And then I did the thing everyone later told me was brave. I forgave her, and told myself that meant I was strong. We agreed to move forward, to rebuild, to not let one mistake erase years of history. On the outside, it looked like healing. On the inside, something had already started to rot. Forgiveness didn't bring peace. It turned me into someone who was always watching and never resting. I started noticing everything. The way she paused before answering simple questions. The way her phone tilted away from me even when she was just scrolling. The sudden need for space that had never existed before. The subtle shift in the tone of her voice when she said my name, like it carried an unspoken distance. I became quieter, more careful. I edited my thoughts before speaking, afraid of being too much, afraid of reopening wounds I wasn't supposed to mention anymore. Somehow, the person who was betrayed became the one afraid to speak. The worst part wasn't imagining what she'd done. It was realizing how easily my boundaries had dissolved. I told myself I was choosing love. But slowly, painfully, I understood I was choosing silence. I was swallowing discomfort and calling it compromise. I was shrinking and calling it patience. There were warning signs I ignored, small inconsistencies, emotional distance disguised as stress. Moments where I felt like I was auditioning for my own marriage, trying to prove I was still worth choosing. I kept waiting for forgiveness to turn into trust. It never did. Instead, trust turned into monitoring. Monitoring turned into exhaustion. Exhaustion turned into numbness. The breaking point wasn't another affair. It was something smaller and somehow worse. A casual lie, unnecessary, effortless. The kind of lie told without fear or hesitation. The kind that isn't about protecting someone's feelings, but about protecting a habit. The kind that erodes your sense of reality one quiet evening at a time. That's when it hit me. The betrayal didn't end when I forgave her. It just changed shape. It became quieter, more subtle, less visible to the outside world, but heavier inside me. The relationship didn't explode. It didn't collapse in flames. It faded. Slowly. Quietly. Exhaustingly. By the time it ended, there was no fight left in either of us. Just relief tangled up with grief. Relief that the tension was finally over. Grief for the version of myself I had abandoned, trying to keep everything together. And then came the realization I had been avoiding for months. I didn't lose my relationship the day she cheated. I lost myself the day I decided my pain was less important than preserving the image of stability. I lost the freedom to express anger. I lost the ability to feel safe in my own home. I lost the simple, quiet joy of being unguarded with someone I loved. Forgiveness isn't weakness, but forgiveness without accountability is self-erasure. That's the part no one warns you about. Sometimes, the biggest mistake isn't trusting someone who hurt you. It's proving to them that you'll stay, no matter how much of yourself you lose. And once someone learns you'll survive disappearing, they stop worrying about hurting you at all. And the person you see in the mirror each morning isn't the one you started with. They're a version shaped by compromise, by quiet resignation, by fear masquerading as patience. A version that survived, yes, but at the cost of everything that once felt safe, whole, and real. Sometimes surviving isn't winning. Sometimes surviving is the quietest form of surrender.